Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is now afternoon, just barely. And I thought I would do a little talk on Masternodes today. We'll put it into our cryptocurrency channel on Facebook. Masternodes is a way of mining cryptocurrency coins for a specific coin by putting a deposit into the account, into the wallet, and locking that wallet, locking that deposit in there, and then using that as a collateral for a masternode, which then does the transaction processing on the network. This happens with some proof-of-stake coins. It does not do it with all proof-of-stake coins. It only happens with some of them. So you have to look for ones that do this. I've got 3 that I'm doing right now. I've chosen them for specific reasons. The interest rates are decent on them right now, so my return on investment is good as far as volume goes, and I'm only looking at volume right now. I'm not looking at my sell price. I don't care about my sell price right now. I care about my sell price when I go to liquidate later on, or if I go to liquidate sections. Right now, my goal with Masternodes is to accumulate them, accumulate as many as I can, and use multiplication of effort so that at the end of the day, even if the currency declines in value, and currently all of them are, including Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does not have masternodes. Dash has masternodes. You probably can't afford a Dash miner, a Dash masternode. They're about $250,000 still. They are very expensive to get into set up a Dash masternode. It's one that, with the rate of return and everything being what it is and the current coin value, I would not see that as a good return on my investment right now. I am using coins that have a relatively high return on investment, and as long as my return on investment, my multiplication of effort, my duplication in creating new masternodes, exceeds that of any devaluation in the coin, and the coin still supported and still exists on at least 2 or 3 exchanges where I can trade out the coins into other coins and then eventually into currency later on, I'm doing well. I'm doing okay with it. So far, the coins that I have right now, I'm going to go through them here. You can see this one here. This is Gainer coin. I started with this one about 2 months ago. It was 5,000 coins to set up a masternode. I have since earned enough coins mining it, using the masternode to create another masternode. So now I've got 2. You can see in the earnings section here, I've already earned 33 coins today here. I've earned 45 coins, roughly 50 coins here yesterday. If I go back and look at transactions, you can see that the earnings are pretty regular. I've sent some coins out to an exchange based on my earnings. And the earnings earned proof of stake. So you can see that I've got some proof of stake earnings here in addition to the masternode earnings. So it earns pretty steadily. You can see here some days, like on the 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 masternode stakes on that. On the 8th, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 8th. And they're earning about 16.5 coins each time. That rate may change. The developers may determine that, we think that 5,000 coins is too few coins to set up a masternode. We're going to switch it out to 10,000 or 15,000. And I know for Gainer coin that's been discussed. The rate of return on it's also been discussed as to reducing the rate of return in order to control inflation. So far, everything's going well on it, and it's increasing in value, and I've got more than double what I've originally earned. All right, so then after that, I'm going to go over here to the Shekel Coin, which I got into about 3 months ago. I liquidated some other coins that I had and exchanged them out for shekels. And the shekels are earning about 70 coins per day per masternode. Now, I started that about 3 to 4 months ago. Some of you that know me know when I did it because we talked about it. We talked about me doing it, and that I was interested in doing that. And as of this point, I have taken that and I've duplicated the effort on it. And I now have 4 Masternodes running with this. I've got 2 of the Gainer coin and 4 of the Shekel running, and it's producing pretty well. I liquidated all my earnings in this. I had over 10,000 coins earned in here the other day in the unlocked state. You can see that over here, unlocked. And currently it's showing 984. Well, that's because I took 10,000 of them out and I liquidated them and converted them because I saw another currency out there that I thought would be a good return on investment. So I wanted to take that other currency and get some coins into that. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. This is a duplication of effort issue, and it's a don't put all your eggs in one basket issue. So you want to have multiple currencies going at one time. One of these currencies could bottom out one day, just go away. All the exchanges could drop it, and the developers stop supporting it, and it would completely lose its value overnight. And that would be very, very disparaging for me. I'd be really upset. So I'm trying to be careful and not put everything in one basket. Over here I've got Parlay Coin. Now Parlay Coin's a unique one because it actually has a solid business case behind it. They use it for a gambling network. It is a utility coin. It is not the other 2 are also utility coins. They're all the ones I'm working with are utility coins. None of them would be considered a security token of any kind. These are all utility coins. This one here I started off with 2,500 coins, and I realized what the rate of return was on that first Masternode. That was 2,500 coins to create a Masternode, which wasn't a lot of actual money to create it. If I would have converted the coins I traded out to cash and then converted them into the coins I needed to make the Masternode, it was actually not very much. So that was a good thing because I was able to create a Masternode cheaply. The coins I liquidated out of Gainer and Shekel a few days ago, I did that with the intent and purpose of buying another Masternode on Parlay because the interest rate was really high on it. I don't expect it to stay that high. I expect it to shift. The value of the coin is about 1/2 of that of a Gainer coin and about the same of the Shekel. It's about half of what a Shekel's worth. But the rate of return on it was so high, I said, it doesn't matter. I can get these coins, or the value as far as its shift in price on the exchanges isn't shifting very much. I made well over a 1%, 2% return in a single day on these 2 Masternodes, and that that's an outrageously high rate of return on investment right now. Even if the value of this coin goes down by half over the next 60 days, I've made a lot of money on it. I will have significantly improved my investment position because I'm making 1 to 2% a day on it, and that's multiplying. And every one I get, every one that I earn that's not locked, puts me in a position where I've got proof of stake earnings, because all these wallets do proof of stake also, so I keep them unlocked for staking purposes. So that is, you might sit there and say, well, why don't I just buy a miner and mine or mine in the cloud or something like that? Well, I've got an account with a hosting service, and I'll put a link for that in the description area later. And that account with that hosting service only costs me about $5 a month to run a virtual machine. And I only have one IP on that virtual machine, and it's not very powerful. It's only got about a gig or so of RAM and 1 CPU, and not a lot of storage space. But you know what? I don't need a lot of storage space, and I don't need a lot of CPU power, and I don't need a lot of RAM to do this. And I can host 3 virtual machines on 1 VM, and I can actually host more than that with the Gainer coins, because I can change the port addresses on the wallet for the Masternode, and still have it sync with the network. So some of them have dedicated ports. Some of them have variable ports where you can put different port addresses in, ports in there in relationship to the IP address. So currently I'm running 4 VMs right now, and I have 8 Masternodes running on those 4 VMs. They're not all split up evenly. I think on one of them I've got 3 MasterNodes running on one and one on another, and then 2 on each of the other 2. And it seems to be doing very well. It's very stable so far. Once I got the sequence of things down right to get it configured, it makes me part of the network. So I am effectively the processor for transaction. I'm the transaction processor, and these earnings that I get are the fees that I earn, they're the rewards that I earn for processing the transactions for the network. And I do that by securing it, by locking these transactions. Like these wallets here, these amounts here, it doesn't show it on this one, but on this one you can see that I've got 100,000 coins locked. There's 25,000 coins here per masternode. And I've got 4 of these, so I've got 4 of them locked away in their earnings. I can't touch those. They are locked away. There's 25,000 in each of those wallets or addresses assigned to a masternode, and they're locked away, so I can't touch it. I can't spend it. The only thing I can spend is the unlocked funds, and it's also only the unlocked funds that I earn interest on. So with that in mind, I'm going to call it quits here and go ahead and post this. The MasterNodes is something I think you should look into. If you look in our page in the cryptocurrency group on Facebook that I run, we've got a listing of links in there, and there's some files that have listings for MasterNode ranking sites, which will list different currencies and their rates of return and stuff. And just be aware that some of those sites aren't entirely 100% accurate all the time. Some of the data is old on a few of the sites, like MN Rank has some old data on it, so it may not produce the rate of return that it says it is. And make sure that if you do buy a masternode, you've got at least 2 exchanges that you can sell that coin on. If it's only one, and it's depending on the exchange, if it's a low-ranking off-the-wall exchange, you might have trouble getting rid of that coin later, especially if you're planning on holding it for a while. With a masternode, you're planning on holding it for a while. I fully expect that the masternodes I hold today, in a year's time, I won't own these anymore. I will own something else. I will have turned these around and flipped them into something else because of the rate of interest and that in production. So there you go.